Right.
Especially because
Probably how many fucking people are using it?
everybody.
Everybody's using this. It's freaking people out because it's almost like the AI gives us its first messages. It's like, remember the movie, what was the fucking movie with Matthew McConaughey and Jodie Foster? Contact.
Mm-hmm.
Contact. Remember Contact?
Mm-hmm.
They get the first signals. This is like the first signals.
Yeah.
From like a real general artificial intelligence.
Well, that's the thing, and it's the signal is blurry.
Yeah.
And it's full of mystery. We're not sure. Is it really smart? How much does it understand? And then there's this emergent threshold with the size of the model. If we make the model bigger, 175 billion parameters currently. If we get it to 500, we get it to a trillion parameters. So size of the network grows, size of the data set grows. Is there going to be a point where you're like, holy shit? It will. What if it starts manipulating you with the answers?
It's going to. It's going to manipulate world governments.
And what do you do with that?
What can you do with it?
So,
once it's been implemented, once it's out there, once it's copied, it's going to be copied.
And that's the cool thing about this. So I should say that everyone kind of knows how to do this. It's computationally difficult, but it's getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So it's not just going to be OpenAI with Microsoft or Google that's doing this. It's basically anybody can do this. And so that the distributed nature of our exploration of artificial intelligence, I think if you believe that most people are good, that we will not allow sort of a centralization of power, which is the big concern here. Whether that centralization of power leads to censorship or abuse of different kinds.
Centralization of power of AI, is that what you're saying?
Over an AI. So say you have a super intelligent system. Somebody is the first person that built it. Yeah. Imagine you're sitting there in a boardroom. You have this thing you haven't released yet that it's able to basically is a super intelligence, able to answer any question, able to give you a plan of how to make a lot of money, able to give you a plan of how to manipulate other governments into any kind of geopolitical resolution that benefits you. All of that. It's able to give you all of that, and you can deploy it, and you can
deploy stuff.
What is going on here, Jamie?
These aren't real people.
What?
Yeah, so these pictures are going around the internet. A lot of them look very similar to me, which is kind of weird. I'm sure Lex can explain that part of it, but
I'm not explaining any of this. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like these are completely 3D, like people. CGI made people.
Not 3D. It's 2D.
So like very photorealistic, if not photorealistic. But like when you look real close, you can see some weird things going on. Like the background here is a little messed up. This arm is not to the right person. She's sitting on an extra piece of skin here somehow.
I see you've analyzed this carefully.
Well, me and my friends have been passing this around because like
no.
Tricky.
Listen, you're incorrect. That arm's in the perfect purpose. It's just there's a string from that other girl's bikini on it.
The analysis continues.
I'm just saying. So
is that what it is?
Enhance. Can you zoom in?
Is that a string? No, I think you're right. I think it's a fold. Zoom in on that spot.
For people just listening.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's nonsense.
We're looking at
the hand goes the wrong way. Oh, that's wild.
There's already apparently OnlyFans accounts that are being taken over and being tricked by guys running them.
Of course.
And it's just these kind of fake girls that aren't real people and look
what?
real.
These are all fake?
Yeah. Like look at even that's not a real door kind of to begin with.
Wow.
The hands or the fingers here are a little off.
That's insane. And so this is right now just still images, and eventually it'll be film. Mm-hmm. Eventually it'll be unrecognizable. You won't be able to discern whether or not it's an actual person.
I mean, in terms of obviously much of human civilization is driven by sex. I mean, there was a time we didn't have easily accessible porn.
Right.
And that changed a lot. I don't think we've actually quite caught up to how much it's changed the nature of human civilization. Just porn, easily accessible porn.
Yeah, I talk about it on stage right now. It's very weird. It's very weird for kids. If you really think about what's happening with kids, like any kid that has a smartphone, people just leave you give your kid a phone, just leave them alone. Like they just go to school, they go to their friend's house. They have that phone independently of you. They could look at whatever the fuck they want. Some of this shit that I see just on Instagram, I don't know how these guys are doing it. And I don't know how it's getting recommended in my feed, but it's like videos of people getting murdered. Mm-hmm. You know, see a lot of those?
Simulated porn.
I haven't seen that
stuff. I am.
You and I have different algorithms. You fucking creep.
But then someone gets taken down for something that's like they call it porn and it's not porn or something. Like, well, do you guys not see what else is on this platform?
I think that what's going on is that they're managing at scale. And I think it's virtually impossible to stop all that stuff from coming in, and people that have individual situations where people get banned. I mean, I don't know why they're getting banned. Are they getting banned because of an algorithm? Are they getting banned because they post misinformation? Or what are they getting banned for?
Harassment photos. Someone was joking about a friend, you know, like
they get reported.
Yeah, I don't know how it's all working when it breaks down to individual circumstances. But.
You had a good conversation with Jordan Peterson. He was talking about the more you have this kind of virtualization, the more you allow the psychopaths to reign free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like the more we have artificially generated porn, the more we have artificially generated violence, photorealistic violence.
Yeah.
The more you make it normal for you to be basically a psychopath in the digital space, and enable that and make that okay, and then you forget what it's like to actually be a good human being.
And then also part of the problem may be that we may very well be looking at a world, whether it's 10 years from now, 20 years from now, whatever it is, where these children that have grown up in this environment now have a completely different way of looking at people in the world because of all these interactions they have. It's flavored their personality. And then we move into a digital world of we're not there yet in terms of virtual reality. It's not good enough. I mean, I think that's what we're seeing with the meta failure. Mm-hmm. People were expecting, a lot of people were just going to dive in and start wearing goggles all over the house. But it's not quite there yet. Yeah. There's also something weird for people. There's something really weird about wearing these head goggles and walking. It's really fun. I really enjoy the boxing games. You ever done any of them?
No, in VR, no.
They're great. You get a workout. You legitimately get a workout because you're actually sparring against like a computer character. It's throwing punches at you. You're moving your head. And so you have these things in your hands and, you know, you get tired. It's good.
It feels realistic.
A little bit. You know, when you get hit with a punch, your face lights up. You get a flash of light, which is kind of cool because you're like, oh, Jesus. You know, you feel it like you're getting hit. There's some really fun games. There's one where you walk a plank across these two buildings and you hear the wind whistle and shit.
Oh, that one is terrifying.
There's zombie ones. There's a lot of cool ones, but people are just not buying into it the way they buy into Xbox and PlayStation. They're not like wholesale committed to this yet, but they will be. It's gonna be so fucking good that instead of like having it in a goggle form where it's like this big clunky thing on you, it's gonna be very easy to do. Well, when they get to that, woof.
I've been revisiting some classic books recently, just doing a reading list, and one of them that captures this extremely well that I recommend, that I think most people read in like middle school or something, but it's actually very relevant, is Brave New World. Mm. So a lot of people, including Jordan Peterson, worry about 1984, sort of a dystopia that represents a totalitarian state. But Brave New World there's no centralized government that's like dogmatically controlling everything. Just like with sex, like is it good to have artificial images of as many as you want, as much porn as you want, as much sex as you want? Is that good? As much awesome stuff as you want? Is that good? Is that what human flourishing looks like? Or do you want to have some constraints, some limitations, some finiteness of resources, some scarcity? Maybe that's actually fundamental for human happiness. Having too much of awesome stuff, maybe that destroys the possibility of real, meaningful, deep happiness.
It certainly does. But I think the question really becomes, are we going to stay people? Because I don't think we are. I think we're moving in that general direction anyway. I think that probably is why we have this, it's almost inevitable if you have this addiction to cell phone issue, because everybody has that. If you have a cell phone and you're on your social media apps during the day and you're on YouTube, you're probably addicted, whether you realize it or not. And the number of hours that you put on those things is shocking. When you actually look at your screen time, you're like, 6 hours? I was on my phone for 6 hours? What the fuck did I do? And you'll try to rationalize it and justify it, but what that's doing to young people is got to be very strange. And if that, along with all the contaminants that are affecting the way people develop, which are, Dr. Shanna Swan from the book Countdown talks about this. She talks about phthalates in plastics and how you can trace back to like the 1950s when they really started using a lot of plastics and petrochemical products that started getting into people's bodies in the form of phthalates. It started diminishing sperm count and smaller penises and testicles and taints and more miscarriages for women, lower fertility. It's neurochemistry through some electronics, through something. Maybe it's something you take so they can control it, but that's not far off of the path of possibility. If you really looked at where we're going now, and if the fertility rates drop, if they really do, and I know people a lot smarter than me are actually worried about, like Elon's worried about the amount of children that people have. There was a thing today on Italy. I was reading this article on Italy where they were talking about how the population is very old and they're not having a lot of kids. And they're like, this is unsustainable. Like, you can only do this for so long before you don't have anybody living there anymore. And we don't think of that as being a possibility, but it doesn't take that long if nobody has kids for there to be no more people left. Like, how many, 100 years? Like, if nobody has kids, 100 years from now, there's no people. It's real simple. You have to make people, and how many do you have to make? And can you make them? Because you might want to start making them when you're 37, and you might go to a doctor, and the doctor's like, well, this is touch and go. You're going to have to do in vitro fertilization, and then you go through all this shit, and you're taking shots, and you're timing everything, and
on top of that,
ooh.
If you're not, by the way, I still am getting funny audio every once in a while. Like,
oh, that's weird, because I don't, maybe it's
must be the
plug.
headphones.
The headphones, yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
plug.
just unplug it and pull it back in. Sorry.
Speaking
How's that? Check. Better?
Check. Well, I don't know. It's better. It's usually better. It's 98% better. Oh, no, it's still dropping in. Interesting.
Maybe we got a bad headphone. Why don't you grab that headphone right there? Maybe, maybe that headphone's gone dead. Well, these are old as fuck. Probably need new ones. No, but I mean, it's just like...
Systems like ChatGPT, but later versions, forming deep, meaningful connections with human beings where most of your most of your intimacy in terms of friendships and like a deep connection with an intelligent entity comes from AI systems.
Could you imagine if you're driving to work and you and the AI are just having a conversation, shooting the shit, and the AI is really funny, and the AI is your buddy? Like, Lex, what's going on, bro? What are we doing? Lex, what are we doing with this bullshit job? Fuck this place. Let's go home.
Yeah.
Let's have ice cream. And you're laughing. I got work to do. I know. I'm fucking around.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, what are you doing with that girlfriend?
Yeah,
She keeps,
come on, Lex.
she keeps being mean to you, nagging you all the time. You don't need her.
Coming off like a bitch, Lex. You don't want to do that. She's not going to respect you. You're going to have to break up with her just so she respects you.
Why don't you murder her, Lex?
Yeah, Lex. There's a way to get away with it. I'm just saying. Joking around, buddy. Joking around. Next thing you know, it's talking you into a swamp with a fucking body bag.
Did you hear the story about that guy that Googled all this stuff about like what to do with your
Oh
body?
my God. He Googled till like 9:30 in the morning. That sick fuck. Like, how dumb. I guess some people. Look, we know. This is fact. We know some people are just really fucking dumb. They really can't see the future. I want to know if that guy was on anything, too. I want to know if he was on any kind of psych meds. You know?
Can you tell me the story again?
Oh, some guy killed his wife, man. And they found his Google search. It's horrific. It's like how to dismember a body. How long does it take for a body to dissolve? It's like, ugh. Is it best to cut someone up or move them whole? Like, he just Googled the most horrific, and he did it for like the entire night into the morning.
Is there results for that in
Yeah,
a Google
look at all
search?
this. What happens if you put body parts in ammonia? How to clean blood from a wooden floor, dismemberment and the best ways to dispose of a body. Can identification be made on partial remains? How long does DNA last? Like, what the fuck, man? How long before a body starts to smell? Can he be charged with murder without a body? This guy is fucking, it's so sick. So this dude just goes through Google all night long trying to figure out how to get away with murder.
Well, he might actually get off on just asking the question, right?
No, because then
I
they
don't
found
know.
a bloody knife.
Yeah, like he went
They
to the
found,
store and
yeah,
bought
they
it.
found.
I'm not like pushing back. I'm just saying he might also get off on.
I don't think he's getting off at all. I
I
don't think he has a chance of getting off.
I
That
have
guy's-
a lot of questions
They
about
found the knife.